Space Watchers, and welcome back to our weekly nugget. It was quite an eventful week because Falcon 9 launched several very important payloads, and Blue Origin just lifted off today for its maiden and successful flight. So congratulations to Blue Origin, and of course also congratulations to all the space company and agency who worked tirelessly in the past months to make the Falcon 9 very important launch. Among the many payloads launched on the 15th of January on board of the Falcon 9 Block 5 from the Kennedy Space Center, there were two which were particularly interesting and represented a historical first. On board of the same rocket, there were two competing lunar missions. Firefly Aerospace launched for the first time its Blue Ghost lunar lander, and ispace launched Resilience. And this is the second attempt for ispace after the first attempt. The Akuto R Mission 1 unfortunately failed to land on the moon in 2023 because they ran out of fuel. So ispace tries again 2 years after the first attempt. Why is it historical? Well, this is the first time that two competing commercial lunar landers get launched on the same rocket, which is testifying once more the necessity that the commercial sector and the US and Japan feel to land on the moon as fast as possible, as soon as possible, find the perfect commercial partners, find the perfect locations, and get going. Start exploring and start building. In my opinion, there has never been a clearer sign of the race and the stakes that this race brings with it. Blue Ghost represents the third attempt of a US private company to land on the moon. After Astrobotics Peregrine 1, which if you remember unfortunately failed, and Intuitive Machines Odysseus lander, which succeeded in February 2024 in a soft landing, but unfortunately it was slightly tilted and it didn't last as long as planned. So Blue Ghost plans to land in March, on March the 2nd, and we have to wait. We have to wait a tense month and a half before getting some answers. On the other hand, ispace, as I said, is already on its second attempt. It could be considered a third attempt for Japan if we consider JAXA SLIM landing in 2024, which made Japan the fifth nation to land on the moon. ASA SLIM unfortunately had some landing problems. Landing is not easy. It landed almost upside down, and the solar panels unfortunately were not directed towards the sun. So SLIM, similar to Odysseus, he had a soft landing, but it could not perform in full. So both countries, the US and Japan, they had a sort of success, 1 out of 2, and both companies, ispace and Firefly, want to make it and prove themselves, because these are the types of mission that really can make it or break it for a company. And ispace plans to land in May, so a bit later than Firefly, so I suppose we will hear from Firefly Aerospace first. Important, very important, it's never been so important like today to keep the eye on the global competition. Let's never forget that we're going to the moon with the idea, with the goal to build a series of facilities, to transform the moon in a harbor, to make it an industrial facility to build up on the moon and use it as a way to reach the stars. So yes, we need to land. The first very important step is landing on the moon. When once we safely landed, we need to understand how to deploy robots and how to explore it and how to build upon it. So this is just the very beginning of a very long exploration story. My suggestion is to keep your eyes on two very important future robotic missions that will come up in 2025 and 2026, which are NASA Prime 1 and the Chinese Chang'e 7. They're both going to the South Pole, and they're both going to drill to discover water. I'm sure the next 5 to 6 years will be very dense of moon events. We will see a lot of commercial companies fail and others to grow and consolidate. And maybe, yes, we will see some very interesting astropolitics on the moon. Stay put. I'm sure we will talk about this again in the near future. It's going to be in a very exciting couple of months. And Space Watch out.